In previous modules, we've discussed the rapid increase in food allergies in this country's young people. The challenges to parents and caregivers are immense, especially in the process of determining the food responsible for potentially life-threatening allergic reactions, but also in finding food alternatives that are both safe and enjoyable to eat. In these early years, the main responsibility has fallen to the parents and the safety of their protected home environment. But at some point, the child grows into a young adult and must fend for themselves, especially when attending an away-from-home college. In this module, we'll discuss how colleges and university food services are accommodating students who are on their own for the first time, having to deal with potentially life-threatening food allergies, and, at the same time, have a safe and normal college experience. As one mother put it, the risks away from home are enormous.
It's very frightening to think that your child could eat a small bit of food and it could take his life.
As an increasing number of this nation's youth have food allergies, food service operations serving this population need to be vigilant to make sure appropriate accommodations are provided. This increase affects not only K through 12, but also higher education institutions. And this presents different challenges, especially with students leaving home to attend schools away from the protective environment of the home itself. With this in mind, students with food allergies and their parents are starting to base college decisions not only on academics, but also on the extent that institution can accommodate their special needs.
They don't have just one particular item they're allergic to. They may come with 3 or 4 different foods that they cannot tolerate that will promote an allergy attack. The situation with food allergies has changed a lot over the last few years. There's many more options now from a food and ingredient standpoint. Manufacturers have finally seen food allergies as something that they really need to address with their products. So now we have products available to us, mostly at a reasonable cost. We're finally able to source products like soup bases and salad dressings that also don't contain allergens, where 5 or 6 years ago we couldn't source those items at a reasonable cost to us.
For many students, this is their first time living away from home, and for the first time they're making lifestyle and health decisions on their own. As many of the college students are now considered adults, communication must occur between the food service operations and the students themselves who have the food allergies, and not so much with their parents.
They would come to our dining centers and we would help them. We would mark through items that they should not be consuming. But it was really ultimately up to the student to come communicate with us and identify themselves as someone that had a food allergy. And sometimes that means trying to get a particular product purchased for the student, such as an almond milk if they're allergic to soy and dairy. In other instances, it can be as simple as going through our daily menus and marking off the items the student cannot tolerate in their diet.
When accommodating students' special needs and the costs and time associated with accommodating their needs, food service operators must consider multiple factors such as food costs, training for issues such as cross-contamination. This is all in an effort to educate staff on the importance of understanding the consequences of food allergies and to do whatever possible to ensure the student's safety and quality of life.
It's really a balancing act of communicating with your staff, with the student, with your vendors to see what's available, and then weighing that with what the operation can actually tolerate from a cost standpoint. Well, dealing with cross-contamination back of the house in a quantity foods environment is a huge challenge, and it really is all about staff training. It's a challenge from back of the house aspect, where we have greater training, much greater emphasis on cross-contamination of ingredients. Staff just weren't aware of the severity of food allergies and the care that they needed to take. It heightens their awareness once they understand food allergies. In the dining centers, it's about creating an experience for the students that they can feel supported in their academics, that they can have a social life and enjoy that social life over dining with their friends, and not be singled out as anyone that's particularly different.
For college and university dining services, educating the other students is also an important function.
We're also trying to educate the students' peers that eat in our dining center about what a food allergy is and where they can help prevent cross-contamination. In our operations, we segregate the allergen-friendly foods, such as gluten-free bread, into a specific area that student with food allergy knows that they can go to at all times and get their food products. But as far as the food allergies go, we feel like we want to work with the students one-on-one, using the menu for that week, identifying, using the known products that are actually coming in the door to help them stay safe. Online menu ordering is a concept that works very well with some schools for food allergies. The student could call ahead, or using some type of online menu program, let the production staff and the management staff of that facility know that they'll be dining with them at a certain meal. And that way it helps this production staff prepare a special meal for them back of the house, or maybe it's just as simple as having that gluten-free pizza crust thawed out and ready for the student to top for make your own pizza. And using social media like Facebook and Twitter, we have monthly tweets and postings on Facebook that will come out reminding students that, hey, we have dietitians that are available to help them in meeting their allergy-free needs. We have little reminders about what food allergies are. So we use it both for education of their peers and then for also educating the students on what other options our dining centers have.
Schools are constantly looking for additional ways to accommodate students with food allergies, such as the physical placement of specially prepared food items and the development of new recipes.
Recipe development has always been a challenge, and it will continue to be a challenge, but the fact that we're now paying more attention to food allergies and developing recipes that can accommodate the majority of the food allergies, it takes a team of people.
But no matter what is done, there's also the issue of liability to the food service establishment, especially when dealing with labeling and ingredient certainty.
Liability is always a concern with food allergies, and it's one reason that we've chosen not to label our menu items point of sale, because we don't have 100% assurance that every single one of those menu items was not cross-contaminated.
College and university food services have made tremendous strides in addressing the needs of students with food allergies while balancing their own needs with the realities of running large food service operations. The key is awareness and education of both the students and food service administrators and staff.